Ripple XRP holders, after this, there is no going back. Tons of people have been saying that XRP is dead and they've been moving on to other projects. And I don't blame them because XRP has been one of the biggest underperformers during the 2023 phase of the bull run. Now, I'm going to share with you guys some key details on the charts because for the people that have been saying XRP is dead, I don't like to listen to people's opinions. I like to listen to the charts and the facts and to see what's happened back in history, when we are overbought, when we're oversold, and when the best time to back up the truck all the way the bank is. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some key details on the charts for what's happening with Bitcoin and what's happening with XRP in comparison, because in order for the altcoin market to do well, Bitcoin needs to be doing well. Otherwise, retail is most likely not going to be entering the markets. And so with Google approving advertising just recently within the past day or two, and the altcoin market priming to have one of the biggest bull runs of all time, I do have a warning for you that I'm going to share in this video, and I'm going to bring up the charts and I'm going to share with you guys the facts. So if you appreciate that, then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So with XRP sitting at 53 cents, up only 30% the past year, down 14.5% the past month. They won the lawsuit. XRP's price is going down. What's happening? XRP's dead, right? That's what a lot of people are saying. And is that actually true? We need to look at the facts. We need to look at the charts, and we need to bring up data, because rather than just following the herd like a blind sheep and just saying what everyone else says, we need to look at what people are actually saying and see if that is true. So the people that are saying XRP is dead, I do agree with the fact that XRP has been underperforming compared to the rest of the market, and we're going to be getting into that in this video on the charts. But with XRP still sitting in the top 10, XRP on coinmarketcap.com has a $29 billion market cap. It's sitting right behind Solana. Solana has climbed up really, really fast over the past year, and a lot of it is wash trading volume. A lot of it is fake volume coming through Solana, and a lot of it is VC manipulation. So one thing that, I am aware of is there's manipulation across the board. There's manipulation for Bitcoin, there's manipulation for gold, there's manipulation for stocks, there's manipulation for even XRP. And so Ripple is a company, guys. This is what we got to understand. Ripple is a company. So their primary goal is to make money to boost the adoption of their technology. And so if they're going to use XRP to boost the adoption of their technology, well, they have two motives there. Okay, motive number one is to sell some XRP to take profits to put into paying their team. That's number one. So motive number two, they would want XRP's price to go up, so that way they can make more profit to pay their team even more to develop and have even more partnerships with the banking infrastructure. So people think it's a bad thing that they're using XRP to make money, when in reality it's actually a good thing, because if you were a company and you had your own cryptocurrency, you would want your cryptocurrency to go up in value. So for the people out there that think that they just want to suppress the price forever, I don't think that's true, guys. And I don't see any merit to those arguments right there. Although I do think that there is some selling going on, and we're going to talk about on liquidations and on Bitcoin, what type of selling is coming up the rest of this year and what to expect and what I'm doing to prepare. I'm going to share with you guys my game plan as well too. So, I share with you the good, the bad, the ugly. We give you the best information to help you prepare for the worst that's yet to come in this economy, because with the Federal Reserve meeting coming up here soon, Jerome Powell, it's not looking like he's going to be hawkish. Most likely they're going to hold rates, and then they're going to start lowering sometime this year. So we'll discuss on this channel what that's going to look like, as I've shared in previous videos, for when they start dropping rates. But let's dive into this. So looking at the Bitcoin to the USDT liquidation heat map, we can see how much leverage there is on the weekly chart to the upside and to the downside. And so these exchanges love to manipulate the price to stop hunt and liquidate the leveraged traders. And what that means is on the chart, you can see these heat maps that show from zero to millions of dollars in leverage, depending on whether we're on the 12-hour, 24, 3-day, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, etc. So if we go ahead and zoom into the 3-day, we can see that the leverage changes a little bit on the heat map. And so what these exchanges will do is that they'll manipulate the price to wick and move the price above the leverage that is limit sell orders on leverage to the upside to liquidate these things. And you'll see in these pockets right here that are like dark, it's like purple or dark blue, that's where the price would liquidate all of these leverage traders right here. So as you guys can see, $103 million is in leverage right here at about 43,957. So to the upside, a lot of these people would be liquidated at about $44,200. And then you could see more leverage to the upside in about $42 million. These people would be liquidated all the way up here at about 44,500, closer to $45,000. Now to the downside, you can see there's drastically more leverage to the downside, the majority of which is right here at about $43,000. You can see even more down here at $41,000. But when in doubt, zoom out. So if you guys are in doubt and you think the price is going to go down, we need to zoom out and see how far down will it go until everyone's liquidated. And so as you can see right here, a vast majority of leverage is at $39,000. These would be liquidated about $37,900. If we zoom out even further to the month, and this is gonna play in line with this entire video, we can still see there's a lot of leverage to the upside. And so the price, obviously could go in either which direction, and we have to analyze the past and look at key indicators that are gonna show us, what the most likely case scenario is, not only for Bitcoin, but for XRP, and I'm gonna compare the two together. So you guys are gonna absolutely love this. So zooming out to the 3 month, let's zoom out to the 6 month, and let's see how much leverage is to the upside and to the downside. As you guys can see, there's not that much leverage to the upside, upwards of $50,000, but there's a vast majority of leverage, $8.28 billion, all the way down at $34,000. And so most of these leverage traders would be liquidated around 31, 32K. There's even some all the way down here at $25,000, but the most amount of leverage is at $33,000, $34,000. And so what does that mean? Well, when we look right here, you guys can see Bitcoin comparison to XRP. Bitcoin has been outperforming XRP, and XRP continues its amazing run to the bottom and continues to inspire people that are savvy, sophisticated investors to back up the truck for XRP when it finds a low. But for the retail, it's inspiring them to run away and call XRP a scam because it's been underperforming. And so in one of my previous videos, I talked about XRP to the Bitcoin price chart on how XRP performs in comparison to Bitcoin. And several times in the past, we've seen XRP come all the way down to this yellow box of support right here. And with XRP seeing a sell-off to the downside, breaking this key support level, if we see XRP underperform in comparison to Bitcoin, this would be the last stop before everything changes for XRP. And on the stochastic RSI, you can see we're all the way down below 20 right now into oversold territory in comparison to Bitcoin. So eventually XRP will bottom out in comparison to Bitcoin and we will rebound. Now, how much lower we'll go will depend on what happens with Bitcoin. So we can see based on Bitcoin's cycle right now on where we're at, the high is currently at about $49,000 where we wicked up here. Now we can see this key zone of resistance, and also we see this trend line right here, this yellow dashed trend line. Now on the right hand side of the screen, we see similar topping structures over the past that I'm going to bring up over the next few minutes with you guys, where we see the price rally up to a peak and we see it hold this trend line. And then once we break the trend line, we see a back test of either this upward trending support or this horizontal support box in yellow on the right-hand side of the screen that you guys can see right here. And then we get rejected and we trade to the downside to find a bottom. So if Bitcoin were to do something like that, then we could see Bitcoin rally upwards of, $44, $45, maybe $46,000 within this zone right here to liquidate these traders on the 3-day liquidation heat map chart, where you guys can see $103 million in leverage right here. We could see them get liquidated upwards of $44,000 or even $45,000. And so what that would look like on the chart is Bitcoin's price could rally up this first week of February to retest this upward trending support right here. And then I would expect the price to get rejected and for us to trade to the downside. Now, does that mean that that's guaranteed? Absolutely not. This is not financial advice. Don't buy, don't sell anything. But we need to see, based on the past, if this has happened multiple times, because this was back in September of 2020. We saw the peak right here in August of 2020 when Bitcoin rallied upwards of $12,000. And then we broke this upward trending support. We broke it. We rebounded up to retest it, and then we traded to the downside. We found a low, and then we started the new uptrend going into 2021 21 after October. And so when we look right here for Bitcoin's price chart in the past, we can see similar topping patterns form. Even during the bear market, on the right-hand side of the screen back in August, we saw the price, drop all the way down to $17,000. See a short-term rally up to about $25,000. We see this upward trending support line right here in yellow. When we broke the support line to the downside, we came back up to back test it. We also back tested this key zone of support right here in yellow, and then we got rejected, consolidated sideways for an extended period of time, and then fell to the bottom for one final capitulation event down here at $15,000, $16,000 before starting the new uptrend. Now on the left-hand side of the screen, we can even see all the way back in April of 2023, when Bitcoin struggled to break above $31,000, we rallied up after Silicon Valley Bank collapse. So the Silicon Valley Bank collapse happened right around March 10th. It was right around here. When the bank collapsed, all the institutions and the VCs were like, oh shoot, my tens or hundreds of millions of dollars aren't safe in the bank because the FDIC only insures up to $250,000 per account. So what am I going to do to hold millions of dollars? I'm going to hold it in crypto. And so they pumped Bitcoin from $20,000 to $31,000. Now, very interesting, we see a similar topping formation where we can see this support form right here, upward trending support. We see the price top out, we broke support, we came back up to back test it, and we just kind of hovered here for a little bit. But this was a double top formation where you can see top number one, top number two, and then you could see this neckline right here. We broke the neckline again, and we came back up to back test it, and then we formed a new low before continuing, this uptrend. And it was kind of volatile for about 200 days, but we can even see the same chart pattern form right here. We see a new high form for Bitcoin, come back up to retest this resistance right here. We see this trend line form. We see a break of the trend line. We come back up to back test an ABC and then a C to find a new low. And so we're seeing this happen time and time again. Now, let's go even further back. I'm just going to keep bringing up example after example after example to show you guys this because, like I said, for the people that are saying, XRP's dead or Bitcoin's going down, we can't just listen to the noise. We have to look and listen to the charts. If the charts could speak, what would they say? This is what they're saying. So going back here to April of 2022, during the complacency stage, after we saw the all-time high, when we zoom in here, we saw the price come all the way down to $33,000 right here on the right-hand side of the screen. So I want you guys to look at the screen right here on the right-hand side of the screen. We wicked all the way down here. We started this uptrend during the complacency rally on this dead cat bounce. This uptrend came up to about $48,000, and then we came back down. We broke the uptrend. We came back up to back test it. We didn't quite make it up to this horizontal support box around $44,000, $45,000-ish dollars right here, but we back tested this upward trending support as resistance, and then we continued the sell-off to the downside. And so that happened right there. If we go all the way back to November 2021, the all-time high, we did a similar chart pattern. We came up, we formed the high, almost $70,000. We see this uptrend right here. Bitcoin broke the uptrend, but we didn't even have enough steam to come back up and back test it and then continue to the sell off to the downside. We just grinded all the way down. That's what happened there. So we were missing the back test right here, but arguably so because this was the top of the market. So the bulls were completely exhausted. The bears just stepped in and drove the price down. Whereas on the way down, then the bulls started to enter back in and they tried to recover the price back up into these key zones of resistance. Now, let's go back even further to the first top, right? Because Bitcoin had a double top. The first top right here was $64,000-ish, almost 65. The second top was $68,000, $69,000, somewhere around there. So let's look at this top. We see the exact same thing happen time and time again. So we can't ignore this. We have to look at this. The high of right here of $64,800. We see this uptrend right here. We broke the uptrend. We came back up to back test this key zone of support, which was resistance back in March of 2021. We just barely breached into this box, and then we saw a continuation to the downside. And so we see this happen all the way back here in September 2021 as well too, before that peak. So every single peak, this has been happening. Not every single one, but the majority. And so we see the top come in, $52,000. You can see this uptrend on the left-hand side of the screen. We break the uptrend. We come back up to either retest one of two things. We either retest the upward trending support, this trend line, as resistance, or we retest this yellow horizontal box, or both of them at the same time. If we can confirm both of those, boom, we get rejected, we find a new low, and then we find that low and we break out from that low. Now looking right here, let's compare all the way back into 2019 as well too, during DeFi summer. So we went absolutely parabolic. We didn't back test. The thing with COVID that was interesting is COVID almost had to happen, because when we broke out from this range right here, we didn't back test it. When we broke out from this range right here, we didn't back test it. You could see this wick right here, but we broke out from this range right here. We didn't even really see us back test these previous ranges. And so COVID was to bring us back down to back test that before we could come out of there. But that just happened like hundreds of days later. So when we're looking at this chart formation right here in comparison to now, we can see the price rallied all the way up to almost $14,000. And then we see this upward trending support right here. Once we peaked out here, we came down to the support. And as you guys can see, we were forming lower highs on the price chart and a higher low, and it was a symmetrical triangle. Now on the RSI, we were forming a divergence, a bearish divergence. So when we broke this upward trending support, well, guess what? Just like every single topping formation, we came back up to back test this upward trending support line, and then we saw a continuation to the downside. And so we just see an A, a B, and a C formation. We formed the new bottom for the C. Then Donald Trump prints $2 trillion, signs the CARES Act into law to stimulate the economy. Then the markets pump. So what are we seeing right now compared to this? We're seeing something similar form where we see the high come in. We see this upward trending support. Now, very interesting enough, if we were to draw this upward trending support all the way back from October 2023 and draw it up, we're almost there. We're almost there. So we are seeing a break of support all the way down to $38,000. We saw this break right here. So a lot of people sold right here. This is not the time to sell at $38,000, because we know based on the past that the price more than likely comes back up to back test this area right here, anywhere between where we are right now all the way upwards of $45,000, $46,000, which is also this yellow horizontal zone of support. Then guess what happens after this? We come back up to back test and we see a sell-off and a continuation to the downside. Now, this would play in line with liquidations happening on the monthly, or if we zoom all the way out on the 6 month for Bitcoin, you can see over $8 billion in leverage would be liquidated below $34,000, coming back down to $30,000 to $32,000. Now, very interesting how that would be a back test of the previous range that we consolidated at for about 200 days, as Bitcoin hasn't back tested that. So I would expect going into March and April for us to see something like this take place, to see some type of A, B, and C bottoming formation happening here, and then for us to work our way out of here and for the Fed to step in and start printing massive amounts of money, because if they start lowering interest rates sometime this year, that could bleed into the crypto market to cause everyone to panic, see a sell-off. We could see the stock market start to turn around, but then the Fed always steps back in and prints their way out of this problem. So I would expect the chart to look something like this. Now, I did say in the past how I expected us to top out around $48,000. So far, that's true. Like I always say, I hope I'm proven wrong, because this isn't my opinion here, guys. As you can see, I've shown you multiple chart patterns where this exact same thing has happened, where we see this upward trending support line, we break this support, we come back up to back test, we see a continuation to the downside. We saw that happen right before the bull run. So bad news and good news, because I look at bad news completely indifferently. I still hold crypto. I hold a good amount of crypto. And that doesn't mean you should, even though I think we're going down further. I think after this, it's going to lead to the biggest bull run of all time, and we're going to see trillions of dollars flow into this market, because as you guys can see back here in 2020, when we saw this sell-off from $12,500 take place, we saw an A, a B, and a C. Now on the left-hand side of the screen, you guys can see a similar thing playing out. We could see an A, a B, and then a C coming all the way down to $30,000 to $35,000. But then after that, we broke on out of here and we formed the next phase of the Elliott wave. And so similarly enough, we're gonna break on out of the low. So if you're wondering when is the best time to enter crypto, it'd be around the C wave. Now I'm gonna be making videos consistently every single week on this channel, sharing with you guys when I believe that will be in. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, share this video with a friend. But let's look at XRP. And let's compare it to Bitcoin based on the past. Let's go all the way back to 2016, that bull run, and let's see if we can see a similar topping formation come in. Because when Bitcoin broke out of this range right here that it was in for 200 plus days, we did see it come back to back test it right here. And then on XRP, we'll show you guys what happened on the XRP price chart. So ignore these long wicks right here to the downside. Let's just pay attention to the candle bodies for this upward trending support right here, because we saw a similar formation take place where we see a peak upwards of $780, and then we see this upward trending support. We break support. We came back up to back test, and we just kind of hovered at it and we flatlined here. But then we saw a sell-off to the downside. So on the left-hand side of the screen, you guys can see XRP rallied up from 0.005 upwards of 0.008 after Bitcoin topped out, then XRP topped out here. Now, when Bitcoin saw this sell-off take place, XRP saw a sell-off as well too, and it dropped all the way from this massive wick to the upside, 0.008. XRP dropped over 33%. Now, how much did Bitcoin drop from this peak? Bitcoin dropped, 38%. So arguably XRP fell less. But then after that, one thing that was interesting is Bitcoin started the new uptrend after it found its low, and then XRP, started its uptrend as well too. But XRP had one final shakeout event to the downside, while Bitcoin went parabolic after that and saw massive price appreciation to the upside. But if you were patient and you held XRP, then you guys know what happened back in 2017 in March. XRP broke out from 0.005 and shot all the way up to 6 cents, after Bitcoin was consolidating for a period of time. And then XRP went even further than that, went upwards of 40 cents, consolidated sideways for about 200 plus days, and then topped out upwards of $3. So if you were just patient here, everyone at this time, can you guys imagine, for those of you that have been in crypto for a while, I got into crypto in 2016, 2017. So I was entering in the markets right around this period right here when XRP was rallying up. So I was able to accumulate XRP. Unfortunately, I didn't get XRP all the way down here. I was buying XRP right around 3 cents to 40 cents. So I was buying XRP, right here, and then I was buying some XRP right around 16 cents as well too. I bought some XRP at like 30 cents because I was excited. That was my first bull run. So I was buying up here. Then for 200 days, I had to be patient. And then, I did catch some gains on XRP all the way upwards of $3.50. A big mistake that I made though, guys, was I didn't sell anything. I should have sold up here. Just like this bull run cycle, I'm not going to be round tripping my bags. So when XRP starts to rally, even with another shakeout event, I'm going to be taking some profits, and I'll let you guys know when that's going to happen. Now, looking back here in August of 2020, before we started the bull run, after Bitcoin broke out from the 2019, high, we saw this ABC corrective pattern take place. On the left-hand side of the screen right here, in August of 2020 for XRP, we saw the exact same thing happen where XRP rallied up with Bitcoin. It from the first peak on the 2nd of August, came down, formed this trend line, formed a new high at 32 cents, while Bitcoin was peaking out at $12,400. And then as you guys can see this, A, we break trend line, B, we come back up to the trend line to retest the resistance, and then C, we form a bottom before we come and start the new uptrend. And so Bitcoin did the exact same thing, and it was at the exact same time. So you guys can see XRP's peak, 2nd of August, Bitcoin had a peak. XRP's high right here, 17th of August, that was Bitcoin's high. And also on the 2nd of September was the back test for corrective wave number B before we came back down for C. Same thing for XRP. And then when Bitcoin, went parabolic for that 2020, 2021 bull run right here, XRP did the same thing. XRP started to rally up, in November of 2020 when Bitcoin was consolidating during this phase right here. That's really when XRP started to break out. And then as you guys know, the lawsuit hit, brought XRP back down. So we can't really look at this right here or even this high right here as like the real high for XRP, because all the money flowed into other altcoins during this entire bull run and XRP was cut short. So XRP missed the last bull run. So this bull run right here, the fact that XRP missed this bull run, the real low for XRP should be a lot higher than it is right now, because Bitcoin's low, is relative to what it should be based on the macro market cycle, Whereas XRP still has the lawsuit over its head. And in April, guys, what's going to happen here is Bitcoin is going to have the lawsuit versus the SEC and Ripple is going to be over, and XRP will be at a low. Now, one thing that's interesting is if we look on XRP's chart where we are right now, it's a little bit different than the past, because with Bitcoin rallying up to the high of $49,000, well, XRP has been seeing a sell-off. XRP actually peaked out at like 74 cents right here when Bitcoin was down at $37,000. So XRP rallied first and then has just been seeing a massive sell-off to the downside to 51 cents right now. But we can see a similar chart pattern play out for XRP, where we see this upward trending support right here. We break support, we come back up to back test it as resistance, and then we see a continuation to the downside to see corrective wave C. Now, the real question here is, with Bitcoin rallying up, and if Bitcoin rolls over to the downside, will we see some of that liquidity flow into XRP for one final peak back up to this upward trending resistance and then a continuation to the downside? Or will we see XRP continue to go up from here and completely decouple from the rest of the market? Now, I don't think that that's going to happen until at least April, May, later on towards the second half of this year. I think XRP is going to continue to follow Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoin market. And for that, we just have to be prepared for XRP to underperform Bitcoin in the short term. But after this, there's no going back, because if we come back down here to this zone of support for XRP to the Bitcoin price chart and we start rebounding out of here, you can see on the stochastic RSI, we would turn back around and we would start trading to the upside, and then XRP would start outperforming Bitcoin. And when that happens, Bitcoin's market cap dominance will turn around to the downside, and we'll see it start to trade closer to 30 or 40%. As you guys can see, this upward trending support here for November of 2022, we just broke this support. We came back up to back test it as resistance, and we're potentially seeing a continuation to the downside for Bitcoin. So that's why we are more bullish than ever before for the macro leading into the tail end of 2025 for altcoins. And so if you guys want to discover our top altcoin picks first, before we make videos about them, and you're ready to diversify your portfolio, I hold lots of different altcoins that I'm bullish on for this entire bull run towards the tail end of 2025. Then what you want to do right now is go to bullrunners.com. You'll get early bird access to our financial education platform when that's released. All you have to do is click the link on the page, put in your best email address. You'll be instantly subscribed to our daily newsletter, and you'll receive the best information to help you prepare for the worst that's yet to come in this economy. You'll get free access to our Telegram group, and you'll be notified first when we launch our platform. So I appreciate you guys for watching this video. As always, let's back up our truck all the way to the bank, grab the bags, pack them and stack them, leave no bags left behind, because we believe the spending power of the dollar is going down in value. That's a fact. Blockchain tech, distributed ledger tech, and cryptocurrencies are going up in interest. That's the truth. And together, you know where we're going. We're going camping on the beaches of the moon. I'll see you on the next video. I'll see you on bullrunners.com. As always, stay bullish.